Something wrong with meditation? Is something wrong with you? Or something third? Nothing is wrong with you. Meditation is definitely not to blame. Meditation is awareness. Meditation is nothing special. Meditation is just awareness of your body, of your surroundings, of your thoughts and your feelings, and allowing this space for everything to exist. But what happens when we start meditating? I will give you a metaphor. Okay, so you move into a house, but there is no electricity, and all of a sudden there is always dark. Okay, so you can see glimpses here and there, but usually you don't see anything. And then it's like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like 30 years you live in this house, and then all of a sudden your house gets electricity and there's a switch. That's meditation. And you press the switch and then, oh my God, like the whole house is lit up and you can see the rat, the trash, the dishes that weren't done, the clothes, the dirt, like the cockroaches. You can see everything and you're like, oh my God, like I'm running away. Like this is not my house. But actually it is. You just didn't have the light. You couldn't see everything. You couldn't clean because you didn't see. Like, how can you clean something if you didn't see? So first of all, it's not you to blame. Same thing with meditation. You pressed the switch, you started meditating. You started to put the light inside you, and now you can see all these things that are coming up as obsessive thoughts, that are coming up as panic attacks, that are coming up being very, very mad, angry, maybe furious, frustrated, like all these negative emotions. All of a sudden, like your spouse asks you, what are we having for dinner? And you're like, oh my dear God, like, you know, explosive volcanoes coming out. So what happened? What happened? You turn on the light. Guys, we turned on the light when we started meditating, and that is not a nice thing. I mean, on one hand, it's not a nice thing because we see all that dirt, but in all that dirt, we see the golden candle holders, or maybe we see a chest full of gold, or treasure chest with, I don't know, whatever is dear to us. We see our talents, we see who we really love. We part of ourselves, like maybe you're a writer, maybe you're an artist, maybe you want to build houses. You know, some things they're a treasure in this house. Not everything is dirty, but everything is covered in this dirtiness that even those beautiful things, they're kind of, you can't really see them. They're there. But anyway, what I want to say, when we start meditating, we open the light and we see everything. And then these bad stuff, they come out as, you know, bad feelings. So what to do with that? And is that wrong? First, it's not wrong. Guys, it's not wrong. Like, we had decades of suppressed emotions, suppressed traumas that were never allowed to heal. Nobody talked to us. Maybe we were abused. Maybe, you know, maybe we were abandoned. Like, those are big stuff. And once we start meditating, these things come out. Like, they just have to. All of our feelings, everything that's happening to us needs to be processed. And that's the good and bad side of being a human. We need to process things. We need to observe things and give them space to exist. And then they heal. How bad they are or how good they are, they heal and they become this beautiful energy that we can work with. Okay, and when we can create and stuff like that. So the point is, if you're feeling like this, what do you need to do? You need to find a therapist or a coach or a support system that will allow you to go through these emotions, that will allow you to work with the traumas you have, that will allow you to feel, you know? So if you're angry and you're in rage and no one ever taught you how to deal with rage, you have to find someone who will help you deal with rage. That's first. Another one is like, why are you raging? What is underneath that? You know, that's one example. Obsessive thoughts, like maybe you just became aware of thoughts. That happened to me. I just became aware of thoughts. I was like, oh my dear God, I am not thinking these thoughts, but they were there. Whether I was thinking them or not, whether I was aware of them or not, they were there. And then when I became aware, it was like overwhelming feeling of, oh shit, you know. And I was like, okay. I know I was meditating and I opened my eyes. I was like, where did this come from? But I did find a therapist. I did work through whatever was happening within me as much as I could. Those are the layers the therapists talk about. You know, you have one thing and you work through it, and then there's another thing and another thing. First thing is to find a support system and a therapist and work through whatever is happening. Secondly, don't blame meditation. Of course you can quit meditation. Oh my God, I would never advise someone keep pushing, like especially in meditation and these, I wouldn't say spiritual things, but tools where we get to know ourselves. Don't rush. Like if you feel you need a break from meditation, from yoga, from all this stuff, do it. Take a break. Just be aware that when you're taking a break, that you are still listening to your body to an extent. Because what happened to me, I did that. I stopped meditating. I was like, oh, this isn't working. I'm having bad thoughts. But I had bad thoughts because I just met my ex-husband, and my thoughts and my feelings were saying, no, 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 girl, you're not going there. You're not going there. Yet I was like, yeah, you know, he's a good guy. Why would I trust me over him? But anyway, so I stopped meditating, and then I started meditating again 5 years after, when I was completely emotionally, financially, and physically almost at the bottom. But anyway, I found a good therapist and I'm back. And meditation saved my life. So that's why I'm here, telling you that meditation is not to blame what is happening to you. It really isn't. Or maybe you start not loving your husband, or maybe you see things like I did, like, oh my dear God, there's something wrong. Research it, investigate it, be curious about it, and try to meditate while you're working with a therapist. But again, if you feel no, fine, but stay aware. Stay aware of what's happening in your body. Meditation is completely innocent. Meditation is just this allowing space where everything exists, where we can be ourselves, you know, and everything belongs. Like my shirt says, it's okay to feel your feelings. And in this meditation space, they're all okay. Only thing is, we have the power not to react to them. Okay, and we can be aware of everything and not to react to that. And that's why meditation is being advised by everyone, because it gives you this power of discernment. It gives you this power of observing, not reacting. It gives you the power to actually change your life, change your thoughts, change your feelings, change everything. But anyway, that's another video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you all the best on your meditation journey and your life overall. Thank you.